You're out of his league and you didn't believe him when he told you. You thought the shit was cute and you took it as a compliment. He told you when you met him, damn, I don't know what to do with you. And you thought it was cute. He don't know what to do with me. He was telling you. I'm not used to dating women like you. You might be too much to handle. Shit, you look like you trouble. He told you at that moment that you were out of his league, but you didn't want to believe him. See, you thought that you could take him to nice restaurants. You thought that you could teach him about getting his hands manicured and pedicures and things like that. You thought you could clean him up. You thought that you could turn him on to new colognes and new restaurants. And you thought that you could make him well-traveled. And you thought that that would make him appreciate you. And maybe he does, right? But he does not know what to do with you. So do you know what he's doing with those fancy colognes? Do you know what he's doing with those new locations, those new restaurants, those new destinations? He's going back, right, to share those experiences with the bum and broken and scattered and nappy-headed women that he was used to before you, because secretly he doesn't know what to do with you, so he naturally goes back around the women that he feels superior around. See, don't you understand? He's inferior in your presence. So he has to be around women who need him instead of women that want him.
So besties, you're a woman who has it all, but you keep attracting men who are not on your level. You keep dating men who are below you. Get a piece of paper, get a pen, and jot things down. Dating a guy who is not on your level or lowering your standards to settle for a guy who you know you're out of his league. It's like giving an ugly man a chance, then he turns around and acts like you're the ugly one. In today's video, I'm going to tell you the dark sides of dating a guy who is not on your level. When you lower your standards to date a guy, this is what is going to happen to you. Now, you want to stay tuned and watch this video to the end.
Ladies, do not ever date a man below your league, thinking that he's gonna treat you like a princess. No man will try to humble you more than a man that's below your league. In his mind, he's unlocked a whole new level. He will not think he got lucky and he's hit the lotto and he just needs to cherish you. A man that has hit a miracle will have his ego inflated. He will think this is what he's capable of always now, and that you should be so lucky to have him. He will then find ways to put you down and make you feel like you have to prove your worth to him. That man will have you questioning your worth. I see it all the time. And still at their core, they will always question if you are above their league. And they will have that resentment building up inside. And they will stop at nothing until they make you feel small, so they're able to feel tall. So do not waste your time with anyone below your league. We are at our league or higher. Actually, no, preferably higher. Just go higher. Because that caliber of man will actually value you. Trust me when I say no one treats you worse than someone below your league.
Stop dating men that are not on your level in life yet. That shit is nothing but a recipe for disaster and heartbreak. I say that because a man is naturally made to lead and to provide. He's naturally the one who is supposed to be in control of shit. The second that he realizes that you have more money than him, that you'll be okay without him, that you will not die if he left you today, he is not going to like that shit. The second that he realizes that your confidence is through the roof, he is going to try to tear you down to the point where you don't even love him or yourself anymore. And that is what we do not want. No, babe. That shit is nothing but a disaster waiting to happen. Trust me. Been there, done that, honey.
Stop dating below your level because you think that it's going to be easier. You think that you aren't going to have to grow as much, stretch as much, challenge yourself as much to make the relationship work. And you think that you're going to be treated better because the person that you're involved with, the man that you're bringing into your life, is going to be attracted to your success, attracted to your accomplishments, attracted to the fact that you are a woman who has done so much on her own. In actuality, what you are going to do is attract men who want to be taken care of. You're going to attract men who want to be mothered, who want to be nurtured, who want to be raised, as opposed to bringing in grown men who are already self-confident, self-assured, and accomplished on their own. So stop being afraid to step out of your comfort zone to meet men who are actually already on your level or even above, so that they can provide something to you that you cannot provide on your own. Because dating below your level is only going to get you low level, bare minimum behavior. And it's time for you now to start asking for, requesting, requiring, and attracting top tier treatment.
And the men are going to hate me for saying this, but I want to date at my level, not below. And this is the reason why. As a 24-year-old woman living in New York who's of African descent, I have worked so hard to get to where I am in life. I'm literally in my prime. I'm in my 20s. I'm making over 6 figures. I have multiple businesses. I have investments. And I keep up with myself. I used to feel guilty for having the standards that I had until I realized there is no shame in having standards for yourself if you worked really hard to get to where you are. One thing I've learned is a man can have less than you and still treat you bad and still cheat on you and still leave you. So why would I be with somebody who hasn't worked as hard in life as I have? I personally also feel like a man should be a provider. And before y'all come at me, you have to realize people have different cultural experiences. Not only am I African, I am Ghanaian. And growing up, my father was the provider in the house. I make 6 figures and my father still provides for me. And before y'all come and say, oh, she's a gold digger, no, it's not about that. Because a wealthy man and a generous man are 2 different things. A man can be wealthy and rich and have all the money in the world, but if he is not generous, he's not really going to take care of you. And then there are men that are comfortable and they're just generous and they will take care of you. Not that you need to be taken care of. And keep in mind, dating and being in a relationship are also 2 different things. I'll talk about that another time. But dating somebody that is on your level is not even about finances. It's also about just who you are as a person. I'm extremely educated. I have 2 college degrees. And I've just learned I have more in common with people who are on the same level as me. We can talk about the same things. We have the same type of vocabulary. We're interested in the same things just because that's the way we experience life. But if you guys saw my breakup story, you will literally see how I was putting so much financial investments into my ex-boyfriend and that didn't even work out. So no, I am not a gold digger. One thing about me is if I care about somebody and I love somebody, money really doesn't mean anything to me because I got it. But I no longer want to struggle in relationships. I no longer want to struggle with the person that I'm with. I need to be on the same level as them financially, education-wise, and just goal-oriented. Obviously, same level or above, but I am no longer dating below my standards. And
I mean, this is the answer. This is why he does that to you, because you literally said it. He can't afford one day in your life. Yeah, he knows you're completely out of his league. You're probably very out of his league in terms of physical appearance, but also financially you're doing way better than him. Okay, you're way above his financial bracket as well, and that is a ego killer for men. So this is what they do. They will try to play you. They'll try and lure you into their little trap. And what happens is they just get an ego boost from this. It's actually quite sad when you think about it. They just get an ego boost from this behavior. That's it. It gives him an ego boost to know that he now has you and that he can have you. They get so much validation from that. And if you're responding to their messages and if you're picking up their calls, they get so much validation from that. But in reality, he could never be with a woman like you. He could never, ever be with a woman like you, and he knows it. And when his head hits the pillow, he is faced with the truth. However, his ego wants to win. And his ego and subconscious is going to be fighting for approval. It's going to be fighting to be chosen by you. The only way he can get you is if he brings you down to his level. So this is when the manipulation starts. This is when the game playing starts. This is when they'll do the cat and mouse game, okay? These are all manipulation tactics just to get you to drop down to their level so that he can feel like, okay, I can actually access her now. Don't give in to this. Ladies, if you're speaking to men like this, remove them or just completely ignore them. Act like they don't exist.
There's this thing that I noticed women do, and that is go for men that are, I hate saying this, but men who are under their league. And the reason that these women go for men under their league is because of their insecurity. They think or believe that the men who are under their league won't reject her and will stay and not leave for another woman, right? Like that's their insecurity playing out. And the interesting thing that happens is that those men who they go for understand that that woman is above their league, and they start acting from a place of insecurity where they try to bring that girl that's out of their league down to their league and play out their own insecurity. They usually do this with manipulation, just trying to make the girl feel like she's not worth what she truly is. And the reason that the men do this is because of their insecurity, and they want to make sure that she is brought down to their level where she doesn't realize her worth and leaves. Toxicity of this dynamic is worse. It's so much worse than if people were to date their own league.
And how do you get here? You have to get here with self-love. When you have self-love and when you are healed, you go for people who deserve you.
Why are you the woman who has it all, but you still attract men who aren't on your level? You're the woman who has it all, thriving, 6-figure career, Cartier on your wrist. It's nothing for you to hop on a jet and be somewhere exotic in a villa sipping Mai Tais. You're the woman who people say she has the perfect life. But in your love life, though, you're still the one that's picking up the check, planning the dates, and carrying the relationship. You're Chanel, so why are you still settling for Big Lots? The only thing to break you out of this is a transformation of your identity. And right now, you're afraid to let go of control because it's kept you safe. Because when you were younger, you realized that if you didn't take care of everything, no one else would. And that's the kind of energy that has made you wildly successful, but it's also left you stuck dating men who let you lead and don't step up to the plate. But imagine this. Imagine slipping on that Prada dress and looking at yourself in the mirror, knowing you look sexy, and your guy is waiting for you at the door, keys in hand, with a weekend getaway all planned out, reservations booked, itinerary set. He has it all taken care of, and you don't even have to lift a finger. And he grabs you by the hand, takes you to his car, opens the door like a gentleman should, and all you have to do is lean back, relax, and feel seen and adored. You can't get to that reality unless you let go of control, let the walls down, and open up your heart to be vulnerable. Because the kind of man you want, the one that sends flowers to your office just because, and that says, I got it, babe, everything is taken care of, don't worry about it. That man won't show up into your life until you stop clinging to the old identity.
Have you ever given an ugly guy a chance, then he turns around and acts like you're the ugly one? This is what happens when you date a guy who is not on your level. This is what happens when you settle for less. Every time a woman lowers her standards to accommodate a man, guess what? She's going down. In the back of your mind, you're thinking, let me give this guy a chance, even though he's not on my level. Let me give him a chance. He's going to treat me better. That's what a lot of you think, right? You think giving this guy a chance will make him treat you better, but the reverse is actually true. Because when you give a guy a chance who is not on your level, subconsciously he starts thinking he can do better than you. He starts thinking he's the prize. He starts seeing himself like the prize. Because let me tell you how a lot of men think. The guy you're dating, the guy you're lowering your standards to date, he's not going to do that if the roles were reversed. Men do not settle for less. If this guy knows that being with you will bring down his status, bring down his image, bring down his reputation, his morals, all of these things, this man is not going to be with you. He's not going to date you. He's not going to mingle with you. He wouldn't even accommodate you. But you are accommodating men who will never choose you if the roles were reversed. You are lowering your standards for a guy who will never lower his standards for you. A guy who, at the end of the day, he's going to act like he is the prize. Most of the men who are not on your level will want to humble you. These men want to bring you down because subconsciously you trigger his insecurities and he doesn't feel like a man. This is the reason why a lot of them want to humble you, bring you down, and try to make you submit by every means. Because he doesn't have what it takes to be a man, and he feels jealous and insecure that you're all that, you're out of his league. He knows he cannot have a girl like you, and he feels incapable. Because of this feeling, he wants to humble you and bring you down so that he can be able to control you and manipulate you. Most men who know that you're out of their league, these men will always want to humble you when they finally get you, because everything about you reminds them that they don't deserve you. A man who is insecure about you knows that he doesn't deserve you. He knows that there is another guy who will do way more for you, but you have decided to settle for less. You have decided to settle for less, and settle for less by being with him. Now he starts to feel like the prize because you have made him the prize. He starts disrespecting you. He starts looking for ways to humble you because he's insecure, he is jealous, and he doesn't feel man enough being with a woman like you. This is one of the main reasons why you shouldn't date a guy who is not on your level. Because you take a guy who is not on your level and you start dating him, automatically you upgrade his status in the eyes of other men and in the eyes of other women. These women start seeing him like he's the guy, he's that guy. They start looking at him like, if this man can bag a girl like her, if this man can bag a baddie like her, he must be rich, he must have money, he must have all of these qualities that will make this girl date him. But little do they know that you have settled for less. You have settled for less, lowered your standards to be with him. His friends, on the other hand, will look at him like a guy who has game because he was able to bag a baddie like you. But the truth is, he has no game, he has nothing. You are the one who has decided to lower your standards and date below your league. And let me tell you something, men do not lower their standards for anybody. Men do not date below their league. Men do not lower their standards. Men do not settle for less. If this guy knows that being with you will affect his reputation, bring down his status, humiliate him and embarrass him, if this guy knows that you're a hoe, he's not going to date you. If a guy knows that being with you will stain his image in the eyes of his family, his friends, and other women, he won't date you no matter how much he loves you. But you women, you will settle for the hoe of all hoes. Settle for liars, abusers, manipulators, hoes of all hoes. You will settle for this type of men. Men who are broke, who don't have anything to offer, who have nothing to bring to the table. You will settle for these men because you love these men. But if the roles were reversed, this guy will not settle for you. This guy won't date you if he knows being with you will embarrass him and humiliate him. He won't date you if he knows he can do better. And this is what happens when you date a guy who is below you, because when you start dating him, subconsciously he starts feeling like he is the prize. He starts thinking he can do better. In his mind, instead of thinking, oh, a beautiful girl like this has lowered her standards to be with me, I need to treat her right and treat her like a queen. No, this guy will rather humiliate you, because in his mind he's thinking that he's the prize, and he will start behaving like the prize. And guess what? He will want to do better. He starts feeling like he can do better. He's like, oh, if I can bag a body like this, maybe I can bag 2 or 3 other bodies. I can bag another beautiful girl, someone who is even more beautiful, more rich, and has it all more than my girlfriend. Rather than thinking of settling down with this girl, treating her right the way she deserves, no. They'll rather think of being with someone who is better than you, because they now believe that if they can have a girl like you, they have the chances of getting someone better. They have the chances of being with someone better. You are the one increasing this guy's status. You're increasing his value, increasing his confidence, his self-worth. Just by being with you, he already feels like he's the man. There are so many of you who are upgrading the confidence, the status, and the value of the men you're dating. You're the one making this guy sing. You're the one making him known. You're the one making him popular. But in the back of his mind, he starts thinking he is the prize because you accepted to date him. He starts thinking he can do better. So many of you are upgrading men who are not even on your level, because you're making these men look good in the eyes of other women and in the eyes of other men. Other girls are there wanting to date this guy because of you. But in his mind, he thinks he's the prize, not knowing they want to date him because he is with a body like you. But so many of these men will turn around and act like you're the one who needs to be lucky to be with them, because you took a frog and made him a king. You gave an ugly guy a chance, and now he's acting like you are the ugly one. This is what it feels when you date a guy who is not on your level. Never you date a guy who is not on your level, because let me tell you the truth. Most men will want to go after women who are not on their level, because these women add value to their lives. They add value not only to their name, to their status, to everything that concerns them. That's why they want to go out of their league to date you. And you, on the other hand, you're giving this man a chance to be with you when he doesn't even deserve you. There are so many of us women who have settled for less, settling for men who cannot do anything for us, upgrading men who will not even be grateful. Other girls are there wanting to date this guy because of you. But in his mind, he thinks he's a prize, not knowing they want to date him because he is with a body like you. A man knows that being with a girl who is out of his league adds more value to him. He knows he's won being with a girl who is out of his league. So he wants to date a girl who is out of his league. He wants to be with a girl who adds value to his name, to his status. And a lot of you are adding value to these men without knowing. You're dating a guy who is using you to brag, using you to increase his popularity, his clout, his value, his confidence. When he sits with other women, when he sits with his friends, he brags about you because you're all that, you're the total package. But most of these men are not even going to be grateful for being with a woman like you. They won't appreciate you. The minute they feel like they have gotten some kind of popularity and a little bit of clout from being with you, he wants to do better. He feels like he can do better. He wants to go and date a girl who he thinks is more than you. This is what they do. You are settling for men who are not on your level, upgrading men who will never be grateful, and upgrading these men who will never settle for you if the roles were reversed. It is never ever advantageous for a woman to date below her league. When you date below your standard, you are losing. When you date below your standard, you're bringing yourself down and bringing this man up. This is what happens when you date a guy who is not on your level. You are basically reducing your chances of being with high value men. You're reducing your chances of being with a high value man, a man who is willing and able to appreciate you for who you are. Because let me tell you something, You're reducing your chances of being with a better guy, because most men, they will rate you based on the men you decided to date. If a high value man comes and sees that you're a girl who has everything together and you're dating a man who is not even on your level, that guy will respect you. That's the truth. There are a lot of men who will feel embarrassed for your chance, because there are so many of you who are dating men who they themselves will never date if they were women. Men are the highest people who investigate when they want to get into a relationship with a woman. They go and do a background check on this girl. They want to know who this girl has messed around with. And let me be honest with you, if you've been messing around with men who are not up to your level, men who are below you, men who are not on your level, this guy who is a high value man who wants to date you will lose interest being with you, because you have dated men who are beneath him. You have dated men who are beneath him, so he doesn't see the need being with you, because you have dated men who are below your league, men who he has minimized, look low on, men who he doesn't even rate them. And you, who is looking highly on you, you have dated these men. This guy will lose interest being with you. There are a lot of you who cannot be in a proper relationship because there are some men you have dealt with in the past who are a stumbling block to the man who really wants to be with you, because this man is discouraged by your past. He's discouraged by the guys you have been dating, and he knows these guys have nothing to offer. He knows these men are hoes, they are dusties, they are broke. These men are men who don't even have anything to bring to the table. He knows these men are not even on his level, talk less of being on yours, and you went and lowered your standards to date this man. This guy, who is a high value man who wants to be with you, will feel discouraged being with you because of the type of men you've dealt with. So when you lower your standards to be with a guy who is not on your level, you are reducing your chances of being with a guy who is better. You're reducing your chances of being with a better man, a man who deserves you, a man who will treat you the way you deserve. Most of you have settled for less and dated dusties, brokies, men who cannot do anything for you, men who are hoes, men who are cheap, men who don't have anything to offer, men who have no status in the eyes of their homeboys. You have reduced your value being with this man. You have reduced your value being with this man, and now when you see a man who is up to the task, a man who is a high value man who is coming to get you, he now goes and does a background check about you and discovers the type of men you'll be dealing with. This guy will want to reduce his value also being with you, because guess what? You have brought yourself down to the bottom of the barrel, and this man knows the kind of men you've dealt with. If he wants to date you, other men will laugh at him for dating a girl who was dealing with brokies, dusties, and men who could not do anything for her, men who are not even up to her standard. Be very careful. The point I'm trying to make is this: dealing with men who are below you is a detriment to you as a woman. It's a disadvantage to you. You're the one losing. Every time you lower your standards to be with a guy, you're losing. You're bringing your value, your standards, your everything down. Because not only will this man bring it down by default of him not being able to be up to the task, he's going to bring you down, because at the end of the day, he won't even appreciate you settling for him. The minute he finally feels like he's had some 2-3 minutes of fame being with you and a little bit of clout and popularity, he thinks he can do better. He's going to look for someone he can do better. And most women will accept him because he was with a body like you. Because he was with you, so many girls will accept to date him. You were the one upgrading him. Now you've upgraded him to go after better women. He will go after another woman who is better than you, because you upgraded him. And this woman will be thinking, if you could date a guy like him, then there's something about him, whereas you were the one who was settling the whole time. But you on the other hand, who was lowering your standards to be with this guy, it will be hard for you to see a man who is above his league. Because when the guy comes and discovers that you dated a guy who isn't even up to your standard, he's going to feel discouraged being with you, because now he feels like you're the one who's going to bring him down because of these guys you dealt with. You're dealing with men who are not on your league. It is a detriment to you. You're the one losing. You're the one embarrassing yourself. You're the one lowering your standards, reducing your value in the eyes of other men, in the eyes of other women, and in the eyes of society. Every time you date down, you are going down in every aspect. So do not settle for less for whatsoever reason. Don't settle. I don't care what any man has to say. If men are coming out to tell women not to date below their league, it is because they know what they are saying. For every time you do it, you end up with a guy who is insecure, secretly jealous of you, in secret competition with you. A man who wants to humble you because he knows that he cannot do anything to have you. He cannot do anything to keep you. He's not up to the task. So he wants to bring you down. Rather than bringing himself up to be at your level, he wants to bring you down below him even. He wants to bring you down below his level so that he can feel like the man. Ask yourself why there are so many men who have beautiful women. Who these women have everything to offer, everything to bring to the table, but these men will go and cheat on a girl who has nothing, who cannot even compare with her. The reason is because he wants to feel like the man, and you, who is out of his league, he doesn't feel like a man being with you, so he will rather humiliate you and go and cheat with a girl who isn't up to your level. A lot of men are chasing control, power, and ego. They want to protect their ego. Even if they have to protect it by destroying you and bringing you down, they will do it. Even if they will do anything to feel above you, to feel like the man, to make you submit. So when you lower your standards for a guy who is not on your level, this is what you're going to get. So take it as it is, or you settle for less and face the consequences. So besties, we've come to the end of this amazing video. Share your thoughts, share your opinions. Have you ever dealt with a man who is below you, or dealt with a man who is not up to your level? Share it in the comment section. I'm dying to see it, and I'm going to see you guys in my next video. Bye. Love you.